The night arrives, and though your eyes close, your mind remains awake, sensing more than just the dark. You think you are alone, but invisible forces stir around you, moving silently, tightening their grip on your thoughts, your home, your family. Every second you ignore them grants them authority, and the longer you remain unaware, the stronger their influence becomes. Yet, Psalm 91 is not a mere promise to read. It is a spiritual weapon, a shield activated by faith, awareness, and declaration. Moses knew nights like this, standing in silence under the stars, confronting what the eye could not see, trusting in a power that is unseen, yet overwhelmingly real. Tonight, you will learn why restlessness, fear, and anxiety are not accidents. They are signs, signals of spiritual pressure, calling you to awaken, declare, and activate God's authority over your life. This is the moment when faith becomes more than belief. It becomes action. You are invited to recognize the unseen, to confront the silent chains tightening around your home and your mind, and to understand that God's shield is already in place, waiting for your acknowledgement, your declaration, your trust. Do you feel the tension in the air, the weight pressing on your chest? That is the enemy, not to harm you physically, but to steal peace and faith. And yet, even as the invisible moves, God is watching, God is ready, God is the ultimate defender. Moses walked in nights filled with threats unseen, and his reliance on divine authority made him victorious. Tonight, you are called to step into the same trust, to stand firm, to activate your shield, and to discover that fear cannot claim what God has already secured. The plot twist is clear. The night that feels threatening, the silence that feels heavy, the invisible chains that seem endless. They are powerless against the faith-filled declarations of one who knows the shepherd watches over them. Your mind, your family, your home, your spirit are already guarded. Psalm 91 is your blueprint, your strategy, your assurance. Tonight, you will understand the unseen, activate the shield, and sleep under God's authority, fully protected. Why invisible ties strengthen at night? The night does not merely arrive, it becomes a battlefield where what is unseen grows stronger. Daytime distractions keep your mind occupied, dulling your awareness. But once the world quiets, invisible chains tighten and fears emerge from the shadows. Spiritual pressures do not wait for permission. They act when attention fades. Moses experienced nights like this, when unseen enemies tested his faith, threatening the peace of those under his care. Darkness is not neutral. It is an opportunity for the enemy to operate unnoticed, magnifying doubt, anxiety, and worry. Psalm 91 reveals that vigilance is required even when no one watches, and it teaches that these ties, however subtle, gain strength the longer they remain unbroken. Do you feel them tonight? The restless thoughts, the sudden weight on your chest, the whisper of danger where there seems to be none? These are not illusions. They are invisible attempts to unsettle your mind, your heart, your family. Scarcity warns you. Few recognize these chains or know how to dismantle them before the night deepens. Authority reminds you, God allows these pressures not to crush you, but to show the power of his protection when you acknowledge it. Moses knew the quiet weight of threats no one else could see, and his victories came from recognizing them and claiming divine defense. The plot twist is sharp. The enemy prefers night, not because darkness is powerful, but because deception thrives unseen. Fear multiplies when your focus drifts, and chains appear stronger than they are, yet awareness and declaration disrupt the rhythm of these attacks. Psalm 91 is not passive comfort. It is an instruction manual for safeguarding your spirit, home, and family. As the unseen tightens, you are called to awaken, declare God's authority, and break the chains before they settle. Tonight, these invisible ties have no ultimate power. Their strength is temporary, dependent on your unawareness. When you recognize them, when you speak God's protection aloud, the enemy's advantage vanishes. What seems unavoidable is in truth fragile, easily undone by faith-filled action. Moses faced similar nights, and Psalm 91 became his shield. Tonight, you stand in the same position, armed with awareness, authority, and the power of declaration. The chains may gather, but they will not hold. How fear masquerades as restlessness. Restlessness creeps in quietly, often disguised as anxiety, tension, or the inability to settle your thoughts. You may believe these are natural consequences of stress, but in reality, they are spiritual alerts. Invisible forces attempt to manipulate your mind and heart, using subtle pressure to distract and dishearten. Moses knew this weight intimately. Nights when the enemy acted unseen, whispering doubts and magnifying fears, testing faith in silence. Psalm 91 is the key to recognizing that what appears random is strategic, deliberate, and designed to steal peace and faith from those who remain unaware. Have you noticed it tonight? The racing thoughts that intensify when the house is silent, the sudden worries that feel overwhelming, the heaviness pressing on your spirit. These are not coincidences. Scarcity warns that ignoring these signs allows the enemy more control. Urgency compels you to act immediately, to recognize the deception and break its hold. Moses learned that acknowledgement and reliance on God's authority shift the tide. Fear is not a punishment. It is an alarm calling you to declare protection, to align with divine presence, and to activate spiritual defense before the night deepens. Curiosity triggers understanding. The same tension that seems accidental is actually a calculated attempt to unsettle your mind and compromise your trust in God. The enemy is relentless when unnoticed, exploiting quiet moments to magnify insecurities and magnify invisible pressure. Yet authority declares that these forces cannot triumph over a vigilant heart that speaks and acts in faith. Psalm 91 becomes more than words. It is a shield, a spiritual blueprint, a means of converting fear into vigilance and restlessness into declaration. The plot twist is profound. Restlessness is never random. It is a deliberate signal designed to alert you to the invisible battle. Moses faced similar nights, and through awareness and faith, he transformed these attacks into opportunities to affirm God's authority. Tonight, your tension, your unease, your racing thoughts can be turned into a declaration of protection. Fear only gains strength when left unchecked. Speak God's promises aloud. Claim Psalm 91 over your mind, your home, and your family, and watch the unseen lose its grip. When the enemy strikes silently, some attacks are invisible, working quietly while you remain unaware. The enemy does not always come with obvious signs. Sometimes the assault is subtle, appearing only in the stillness of the night, in the quiet corners of your mind, and in the moments when vigilance wanes. Moses experienced these silent pressures, threats that could not be seen or measured, yet were real and demanding. Psalm 91 assures protection not just from physical danger, but from the unseen, spiritual threats that seek to capture your thoughts, instill fear, and weaken your faith. Do you feel that weight tonight? That creeping tension that rises when the lights dim, the subtle sense that all is not as it seems. These are not coincidental. They are deliberate, aimed at capturing your spirit, at testing your trust in God's authority. Scarcity reminds you, few recognize these silent attacks or know how to counteract them effectively. Urgency demands your awareness and immediate response. As the longer these silent forces go unnoticed, the stronger their grip becomes. Moses relied on God to discern and confront them, demonstrating that divine authority surpasses unseen threats. Pain and pleasure intersect here. Continue to allow silent fear to control your nights, or awaken to God's protection and reclaim your peace. Every subtle disturbance is an opportunity for activation of faith, a chance to declare God's promises and disrupt the enemy's plans. Psalm 91 offers not just assurance, but a guide to act, to recognize the invisible, and to step into alignment with divine defense. Authority emerges when you acknowledge these silent pressures and choose trust over fear. The plot twist. The enemy cannot prevail, not when you are aware, not when you recognize the silent operations for what they are. Moses navigated these nights by combining faith, vigilance, and declaration. Tonight, your recognition of these subtle attacks becomes a turning point. What seems quiet, hidden, or weak is in truth powerless against the shield of Psalm 91. Awareness activates protection, and every silent strike loses its force. You are not alone, and the unseen cannot overpower the vigilant heart aligned with God's authority. Declaring God's authority over your night protection is activated when faith moves from belief to declaration. Invisible ties, silent attacks, and restless fear begin to lose their grip the moment you intentionally speak God's authority over your life. Psalm 91 emphasizes the power of verbalizing divine promises, of declaring protection before night falls. Moses understood this principle. He spoke with conviction and faith even before the outcome was visible, trusting that God's shield would manifest as he aligned his words with divine authority. Tonight, you are called to do the same. Write a prophetic phrase, aloud or in your heart, declaring that your mind, your family, your home, and your spirit are fully protected by God. Scarcity warns that few exercise this intentional action before the darkness deepens, and urgency reminds you that waiting allows unseen forces to gain strength. Every declaration of faith disarms the enemy, breaks invisible chains, and restores peace that cannot be shaken by what is hidden from the eye. Feel the weight around you as the night approaches. Anxiety, restlessness, and subtle dread are signals, not coincidences, that the enemy is attempting to test your vigilance. Authority is your weapon. Words spoken in faith carry weight in the spiritual realm, dismantling oppression and signaling to the forces of darkness that they are powerless against God's protection. Moses faced nights filled with these silent assaults, and his declarations ensured that God's shield remained unbroken, covering him and those he was responsible for. Curiosity triggers action. The same forces that make sleep difficult are neutralized the moment you speak and act in alignment with God. The enemy thrives only in unawareness, but the believer who declares divine protection activates an immediate disruption of spiritual pressure. Psalm 91 becomes a living shield, not a passive text. Your spoken words, backed by faith, allow God's power to dominate the unseen realm. Plot twist. The chains tightening silently around your mind, your home, or your family do not control you. Your declaration is a command to the spiritual realm, reversing every attack before it manifests fully. Moses' example shows that alignment, faith, and spoken authority create an unassailable defense. Tonight, you do not wait passively. You speak, you declare, and the night is transformed from a time of threat into a time of divine protection. Rest and peace after breaking invisible chains. The battle of the unseen is over when awareness, declaration, and faith converge. Psalm 91 completes its journey. Recognition of pressure, active declaration of God's authority, and the manifestation of divine protection. Moses rested under God's shield only after exercising faith and activating the defense that invisible forces cannot withstand. Tonight, the same principle applies to you. When you speak protection over your mind, your family, and your home, the chains that once tightened silently lose their power, and peace becomes a tangible reality. Do you feel it? The tension, the anxiety, the restless nights fading as the presence of God settles over your life. Scarcity reminds you, few understand the immediacy and power of acting before night fully deepens. Urgency compels you to activate what has already been promised. The enemy thrives only when you remain unaware. Your recognition and declaration dissolve their strategy. Psalm 91 transforms from text to living shield, and rest becomes a consequence of spiritual alignment, not merely physical tiredness. The second call to action seals this moment, like plus subscribe. By affirming your engagement, you not only align your actions with faith, but help the message reach others who need protection and guidance. Your voice, combined with God's authority, extends coverage beyond your immediate life, activating a ripple of divine defense. And now, the final step: pray the Lord's Prayer, invoking God's protection and guidance over every corner of your life and the lives of those you love. Tonight, invisible chains are broken. Rest is no longer denied by unseen pressures. Fear, restlessness, and anxiety bow to the authority of God exercised through your awareness and declarations. Your home, mind, and family sleep securely under His shield. Psalm 91 is not just a reading. It is your strategy, your command, your assurance. The night, once a time of unseen attacks, now becomes a sanctuary of divine protection, and your soul rests fully, knowing the shepherd never sleeps.